Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach, and it was the calm before the storm, as the title suggests. I think everyone had a pretty reasonable week in SuperCoach. Of course, the buys can cause us a fair bit of trouble from time to time, but this weekend certainly proved pretty bruise-free. I'll take a look at my side in a moment. Again, went up in the rankings, which I was really pleased, knocking on the door of the top 10,000, which I'll give you guys a look at right now. Here we go. So, of course, 19-19, very pleased with that. Was always feeling confident going to the round. Having 20 playing, which leaves you with cancelling your two lowest scorers, should always put you in a reasonably good position. And a lot of people would have been in that same boat, 19 to 21 players, maybe more if you're a bit fortunate and traded well. So ranked in the top 8,200, and then of course moved up some 3,000 spots. So I'm nearly broken into that 10,000 bracket. And as I said, pre-buys, after the buys, I really wanted to break into about that sort of 9,000 mark, really push my way up the rankings. First 2 weeks have been a tick and have been positive, but we all know that next week is really where you're going to win and lose, and where the boys and the men and the girls and the women are going to be separated. So it is going to be tough to navigate our way through next week, because already there are blue dots bloody everywhere. So I'll firstly take a look at my side and how it went this week, but then we'll certainly take a look and forecast to next week. So Laird was fantastic and was back. Adams was not. He was a bit like what Laird was last week, just didn't quite fire, won a bit of the ball, but probably wasn't as effective, or perhaps when the game was truly on the line, he probably had some critical errors and maybe wasn't at his very best. But look, Laird was fantastic, one of the best on the ground. Adams tried hard, worked hard, but it just probably wasn't his day efficiency-wise. I haven't looked at the stats, but just watching the game, it seemed to be the case. Heath Shaw, 95. Look, there's back-to-back high 90s. I'll take that. I mean, the glaring negative of my backline is the lack of Sam Doherty, and don't get me wrong, I'm very aware of that. I mean, there was a lot of talk about me not going with Dangerfield at the start of the season. In hindsight, I got that decision very much right, got him off at a good price, didn't get pounded in regards to points, wasn't really badly hurt over the course of the first 6 or 7. Doherty has hurt me. It has not been as documented or talked about, and Doherty, of course, we don't talk about him like we do Dangerfield, but he is the clear dominant defender, and I have not got him from the start and been unable to get my hands on him so far. Of course, you'll see I've got a fair bit of cash in the bank, so he will no doubt come into my side very soon. But I really would have liked and envisioned picking him off around the 520 mark, but that looks very, very unrealistic. Nick Newman was very good once again. Matty Scharenberg, 69 points. Played okay, just turned the ball over a bit too much, and probably didn't look as sure with the ball in hand as he would have liked. Tommy Mitchell, 113. I really ummed and ahed about taking that 113. As you can see, in the end I did, and it worked out well. I was probably tossing up between Pendlebury and Treloar. I was probably going to go Treloar because Pendlebury, I felt Vince might go to him. In the end he didn't, but nonetheless neither of them scored well without being captain material. So really it wasn't too much of a difference in points, but slightly the right decision. So Pendles didn't quite get going, tackled really hard, but just didn't quite get in as much of the ball as he would have liked. Fife, real concerns over Fife. Again, a lot of people are going to trade him out. I'm unsure what I'm going to do with him. I may touch on that more later in the week, but he'll be a popular player to go out. He already has been. The fact he has the bye will make him even more popular. But as you can see, there's a few underperforming premiums in my midfield that have come good, in the like of Hanbury and Treloar. So I'm pretty confident I'll keep him. I mean, that sounds crazy because he's out of form, but he's one of the Dockers' best players, and certainly probably their best in the first half. He's not badly out of form. You could argue he's not out of form as a player, but just grading him on his very, very best, he's a little bit off that. But I think we'll just have to wait and see. If there's a niggle there, he'll probably go. Hanbury, 100 was solid. Barrett was exceptional, very good, 97, an absolute goal to score like that in these buys rounds. Greenwood, 68, played a good game, I felt. And Myers, he'll be turfed, no doubt about that. I think many will get rid of him. Of course, Dangerfield, Scotty Selwood and Fox on the bench. Grundy was very good. Watching the game, I felt maybe even a 130 or 140 score may have been coming his way. I don't check the scores during the game. It's just one of the things I don't do. I'd rather watch the game and enjoy the footy for what it is, rather than doing your head in because the bloke's 15 points less than maybe you envisioned. But after I checked him after the game, 116, you're going to take that. Martin, good as well. Forward line was pretty good. McRae, Dalhouse were back to some of their better footy, despite a loss. Tommy Lynch showed that he didn't have to kick goals to score very nicely, took a lot of marks, works up the ground nicely, happy with that selection. And Heaney was fantastic as well. Mitchy Hannon played okay. I mean, he gets involved, but, you know, just those couple of little things where they could be cleaner or they could be quicker with the ball. You know, you get a free kick against, or the old clanger. They're the difference from young players getting a 50 to a 70 sometimes. And, of course, Nank and Higgins on the bench. So, look, really pleased with the week. And I knew I was going to have a good week probably by mid-Saturday. Most of my players have got off to a really good start. I had a pretty good underbelly of scores already, and given I had 2 bad scores that I could turf, given I had 20 players, only the first 18 score, as you all know, pretty confident that a good score was on my way. So, pleased with that. I'm just going to take a moment to take a look at next week. So, as you can see, there's blue dots everywhere. It's not like we want to be seeing that, but it was always on the cards. We knew it was coming, and the tough thing about round 13 and the bye is not just it's affecting a lot of our players, but a lot of our premium players, which the ideal scenario with the buys and avoiding them is you have a lot of cash cows in round 13 or round 12, and you can get rid of them for a guy who has had his buy already. So in essence, you lower your count of players who have had a buy. So ideally, we could get rid of a few that bring them in for players who are on the rise and have already had their buy. But a lot of them, as you can see, Adams, Laird, Shaw, all premiums, Mitchell, Pendlebury, Treloar. Who else have we got in there? Grundy, of course. A lot of these guys you're not going to trade out. So look, just doing a bit of live change up. Just throw these guys around. I would doubt O'Connor would play. I would expect, I would expect, Barrett would surely hold his spot. So I was just thinking in my own head, he was very impressive. So, of course, he'd hold his spot. Just let me change a few of these guys over here. Fox played in the knee full, wasn't named in the best. Bruce also played, was not named in the best, but you just never know. The best isn't always the final say. And look, of course, midfield and defence is getting hammered. So what I'll be able to do here with Greenwood is, in essence, do that. And then we can put Nankervis in, and of course Higgins on for Eddie. So look, this is pretty much what it's going to be like. I could cross my fingers that Eddie could play. Not sure it's going to make an enormous difference because I don't feel... Anyway, we'll work through these zeros. So I'm going to have 3 there. O'Connor, you would highly doubt is going to come in. So there's 3 zeros. Of course, you've got your 2 there. And Myers will go. Unfortunately, there isn't a stack of options to bring in. And Bruce, you just cross your fingers. You pray that he comes in. Worst case scenario, or if we look at it now, we say 3 zeros, 5, 6, and a 7. That's nasty. That has me down at 15. I will be able to limit a bit of the damage, and I wouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you're sitting on 15 or 16, I wouldn't be trading premiums. Keep a long-term view. I know it will hurt to run with 15 or 16, but if it's going to destroy you in the long run, if you burn 2 unnecessary trades for 1 week and bring in premiums who are no guarantee to fire for 1 week, that is just, it's not smart trading. There'll be people who panic trade. Maybe if you've got a few up your sleeve and you're comfortable to burn 1 just to get you up to 17 or 18 to be competitive, then maybe. But look, what I'll most likely do is Myers will go, and he'll go for, gee, I don't know, whoever I decide throughout the week. So that should take me to 16. I'll see what the teams do. You pray that Fox might get in. You pray maybe O'Connor gets in. And Bruce is the most likely. He's a genuine chance to come in, I feel. And maybe if Eddie was named, there could be a case to say Myers go down to a mid-forward option. Again, I'm not too sure if there's going to be that option for me. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking on the spot here. Ideally, because I may well have, if Eddie was to play, I'd have 7 forwards. Yet I can't get him on the ground. 7 scoring forwards. So what you'd want to do is get Dalhouse into that, bye-riddled midfield, bring Eddie on to be another scorer, and then you'd like to maybe work your way around there. Wiley Buzzer will most definitely play for Geelong. I'm very confident about that. He's been looking good in the VFL. So if Bruce isn't named, and Buzzer I'm very confident will be on Thursday night, you would probably have to just go, well, when is Bruce going to play? Is it, how long can we wait for? Most of you probably would have pulled the trigger by now. I'd probably go Bruce down to Buzzer, and that'd give me 17. And I'd just cop that. It wouldn't be a great week. It's not going to be a great week for many people. And if I get fortunate, and depending on the teams, you just never know. If Fife comes up midweek that he's struggling with some sort of groin soreness or something, then he would be turfed. But I think I should be able to get 17. Worst case scenario. I think a lot of people will be like that. I'll be definitely bringing in Jake Lloyd soon. I've got Bont and Sloan on my radar. Nick Rewalt potentially in a month, just for some insurance in attack. But he certainly won't be on the top of my get list. And of course, Doherty is a must that I have to bring in for that defence. So I think probably, a couple of inclusions, both midfield and defence in my side. Probably will be down to 7 or 8 trades, and I feel it's near complete. Not perfect, but near complete. So I feel it's coming along well. If I can get through round 13 respectably, if I can crack into that 10,000 all well and good. But to be honest, if I can hold my ranking, I'd be fairly pleased. So thanks for tuning in again, guys. Hopefully it's been interesting to see me talk a little bit live about how my team's going to go next week. Sort of casting an eye forward already, but hopefully you had a good week in SuperCoach as well. As always, let me know how you went. Feel free to shoot us a comment, like the video as always, and above all, subscribe to the channel. We're getting close to that 900 mark, and certainly that 1,000 is now within sight, so hoping we can knock that off within 6 or 7 weeks. It'll be really exciting. So once again, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you soon.